Hey guys, TeamVLR George here, back again, this time around with episode 2 of my card discussion series. This time I will focus on 2 cards actually instead of 1. They're kind of 2 sides of the same coin, but without further ado, let's get into it. The first one is Field Barrier. It's a continuous spell. Basically what it does is field spell cards on the field cannot be destroyed, and another player can activate a new field spell card. You can only control 1 Field Barrier. So this is the card you would run if you yourself use field spells in your deck. This is kind of a card you would want to run like maybe 1 or 2 of, and then activate it on your first turn after you've already activated your field spell of choice. And then it would give you protection, and it wouldn't let your opponent play any field spells. But in the other case where their field spells are your problem and you don't even run them, you have this field spell, Close Forest. The first part is kind of negligible, it doesn't matter. All beast type monsters you control gain 100 attack for each monster in your graveyard. This next part though is very nifty. Field spell cards cannot be activated. Field spell cards cannot be activated the turn this card is destroyed. So even if it's destroyed by your opponent's back row removal, for the rest of the turn your opponent still will be locked off if they need to use field spells. So it's kind of decent actually in the current meta because of some powerful field spells that are running around. Mainly Lost World and Diagram. Lost World being the Dino Smashers field spell that summons a dinosaur token that's a normal monster, and you can only target it with monster targeting effects. And if a normal monster would be destroyed, which is the token, they can destroy a dino from their deck, including babies, which gives them advantage. And then Diagram obviously being the core of the True Draco and True King engines and all of their variants. And sometimes give your opponent advantage depending on what they destroy, including cards like Baboon and maybe Ram. So they have use in the current meta. But aside from that, there are cards that just will stand the test of time. There will be more field spells in the future, so they can possibly return again then. Such as like our last year Domain and Cosmotown meta. And then speaking of Domain, that's even ran to this day sometimes in True Draco variants because it's a decent card, it's a tribute deck, right? So if you or anyone you know is having problems at a local maybe, or with some of your friends when you play around casually, these are decent cards to tech in because they have their use, especially because they're continuous, they just stay on the field. I mean, there are cards like Magic Deflector, but that's a trap, you have to set it and it's only for 1 turn. Its uses are very limited. These guys stay on the field, they're floodgates, they're true floodgates. And yeah, I learned about these cards somewhat recently, so I thought it would be neat to kind of let everyone know about them. You guys should test them down below, tell me what you think about them in the current meta actually, I'm kind of curious. But then other than that, if you guys have any other ideas for cards I can talk about, please leave them down below. I mean, I'll check it out, I'll see what the card's about, and maybe I'll make a video on it. But then aside from that, TeamVLR George is out, I'll see you guys.